Mary goes into interrogation mode. So when that happens, I'm going to bring the ring light and put you in like the fry, like essentially.
Turn up the heat a little bit so I'm sweaty.
Like, oh. So
I want to know all your childhood trauma. No, I'm kidding.
we don't have enough time.
My father.
Save that for a different podcast. Oh, gosh.
Oh.
All right. Well, we've gone on a really great note here. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. It's like, this is where the virtual couch comes out, right? Like, so I'm like, just
yikes.
like right here. I'm gonna
Put a little couch there. Oh, my gosh. I love your creativity, Serena.
Who brought this guy?
I don't know. Well, we brought this guy, so we're going to start this podcast. So welcome, everybody, to the Then When podcast, starring your hosts,
Mary and
Serena. So I'm
And
finally getting that done. And
our special guest,
Steve.
Steve. Welcome, Steve. Yay.
Thank you both. I'm glad to be here.
We're really excited to have Steve on the podcast today. There's tons of stuff to cover. And as Mary would put it, just regular people doing extraordinary things or picking those moments to be extraordinary. So we have a lot to cover with Steve, with as many prestigious titles that he carries. So as you can see, he is live in part of our studio, so one half of our studio. And
I'm just lonely here on the other half, talking to no one. No, I'm kidding.
You have your plant. What is this?
Oh, I do have my plant.
Oh,
Priscilla, she's in the background.
Priscilla.
This is Priscilla. She's a pom pony.
Oh.
I hope I'm not like providing her a slow and painful death. So far, she seems okay. I don't know about this one right here.
Right.
No, but you know what I've realized, and this is kind of like ties into what we talk about, is like, you know, sometimes you look at your plant and you're like, this is like a little brown at the end or whatever. And then you have like certain parts. I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not killing this thing. But what I've realized in taking care of these plants, which is kind of like a newer hobby for me, is that like sometimes things just need to die off for new growth to come through. And so I have less anxiety now about like, you know, killing these plants or putting them on a slow path to death because, you know, some of them just need to let everything go before they sprout beautiful new leaves. And isn't that a perfect metaphor for life?
That is.
I was going to say that sounds like a perfect metaphor for real life.
Right? Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go talk to my naked avocado tree outside and like whispering into its new little buds going, you can do it. So
Like the little avocado that could.
Yes. Why is it that all of my things are the things that could? Because they are really, really trying hard to outlast my, like, you know, ability to kill them.
No, not at all. No, because like, I don't know. I live in the Northeast, so we're not growing avocado trees over here. You know what I mean?
That's true. Georgia's not really known for its avocados either. So that'd be the land of where Steve hails from.
And I can grow a mean succulent.
There you go.
Ooh, I do have some succulents too that I've been able to thankfully keep alive.
And this is also a fellow public pilferer of growing and propagating. So FYI, he's in your league, Mary, after your confession last week. Episode.
Steve, I shared that we went to this fun brewery, and instead of like, you know, bringing home like beer or whatever, I brought home little clippings of some of the cool plants they had around. But because they had like this beautiful wall of plants, like it was literally floor to ceiling, and I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, please, you're not missing this tiny little clipping I just took.
I still hear the plant police at your door. They're still waiting for you to come out.
They're still alive and they like their soil home. So yay for me so far. And them.
Yes.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
let's go ahead and jump in on this one too. I know we can completely go off on tangents here.
Should we dive right in?
Podcast.
Oh, should we dive right in?
Oh, I like puns, Steve.
So yeah.
Yeah, let's dive in. Steve, what can you tell us about yourself? Who are you? What do you like to go by? What is your purpose in
Which
life?
version?
You
I
know,
see
just
where you're
simple little
relating with that.
questions.
Well, some people do call me Scuba Steve.
Okay,
A
fun.
large amount.
Is that
Obviously,
because you scuba?
that is because I scuba dive. Yeah. So I'm a scuba
Cool.
instructor. That's what I do.
Ooh.
It's one of my many jobs. I've been scuba diving since I was 17 years old, and as soon as I started doing it, it just became an addiction. Had to take a little bit of a hiatus for a while for other life activities, but I'm back doing it, and I'm fully addicted, and that's almost all I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's not all you do, but I don't want to get to the total end before we start to really talk about the beginning, because I know we can sit there and go, oh, there's a title or a 2 or 3 that you've tossed in there, but there's also something extraordinary about you and something that a lot of people might take for granted. And I think that it's worth sharing. That's exactly why we were like, you got to come on, because I think when we're talking about then when and all the moments that we decide and make a decision and the things that push us to do so, you have essentially lived your entire life under those rules. And so I know there's like some ebb and flow in it too, but honest to goodness, like if as long as you're allowing and letting us kind of infiltrate like the behind the scenes here, is one of the major things that you deal with on a day-to-day basis is that you are a type 1 diabetic.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was diagnosed when I was 19. And so like I was just saying, I got scuba certified at 17. So I was right in the height of being active and being in the ocean all the time, and just trying to become a waterman myself as I was growing up. And at 19, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, the message that was conveyed to me by doctors and the medical staff that I dealt with at the time was, a list of all the things that I cannot do. And very little education at that time, too, as far as how to manage this disease, which, if you know, and we can talk more about it if you want, but managing type 1 diabetes is a 24/7 constant life or death decision-making process that never goes right. And all you can do is just keep moving forward until you get to the end of this world.
Yeah. And course correct along the way.
Course correcting constantly. Even when we're sleeping, I feel like we're still making decisions on, am I going to wake up? Am I going to wake up and have to deal with some kind of emergency?
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. So what I was told when I was diagnosed was no more scuba diving, no backpacking, camping, and that sort of thing.
No, like activities, big activities,
Yeah, no
right?
big
That can
activities
deplete
where you would be away from medical care for
okay.
any amount of time. And, so limited was like, yeah, you can go surfing, but don't go in the water for longer than half an hour. And then you got to get out and, test your blood sugar and have emergency snacks and emergency insulin and all this kind of stuff. And it really, like, they drill the fear into you. At least that's how I felt at the time.
Yeah.
So that was 33 years ago. And I feel that message is still out there, despite the wealth of knowledge that we have on the internet.
Advances of technology.
Advances in technology and doctors and all that stuff. I feel like that message is still being conveyed to newly diagnosed type 1 diabetics and the parents of these patients.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to interject at this point that we are by no means medical professionals. So what we're telling and sharing is anecdotal, is your experience, but it is worth knowing because it allows you to question your own situation. If you are a type 1 diabetic and you can have those questions and you can get those answers. So FYI, I mean, like every person that exists on this planet has their own makeup. So, you definitely do what's best for you. But if you are being discouraged and really honestly, it was at that moment you were essentially being told you had no more free will. Like that's a lot of ways to kind of consider this. And what we also take for granted when we're talking about then when, and we try to be inclusive in this too, is that there are going to be certain boundaries that you have to play with and work within. But it's not to say that you just have to shrink and be so small and not exist as a result.
yeah,
So,
I would say on that note, I in no way am the best at taking care of myself as far as type 1 diabetes, but I know what works for me, and I do my best, and that's all anyone can do, really. There's people that are way better at managing it. I'm fortunate enough to live in a country, United States, where I do have access to the best technology that's out there, and so I do my best, and at that same time, I do my best to do everything I can do in life as well.
Yeah. When was that moment for you where you felt like maybe you had some more control, or you were able to manage your type 1 diabetes better, and you decided like, hey, I got to start doing the stuff that I really loved, that, with maybe a little bit of dipping your toe into something?
I think it's taken an evolution over the years. Being 19 and being a punk rock kid, my first attitude was like, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
That's not exactly word for word, though. Earlier, you were like,
right, there were some F words in there.
it's a safe space. You can say them.
Yeah, and a lot of middle fingers in the air.
I get it.
Just I mean, literally, having that punk attitude of no one's going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do whatever I want. Wasn't exactly the right attitude, but it set me on that course of, well, I'm still going to go scuba diving. I'm still going to go backpacking. I'm still going to do this stuff. And over the years, as I've, still a punk rock kid, but a little more mature, learning that there's a balance there too, right? So,
yeah.
Back then there was no technology. The technology was get a syringe, fill it with insulin, and hope for the best. And today there's continuous glucose monitors that talk to insulin pumps and all that kind of stuff. And it does a lot of the work and thinking for you throughout the day.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps free up a little bit of the mind space to start thinking, okay, I can take care of myself, but at the same time, let's see if I can get close to the limits of what I can do, what I'm capable of doing.
Mm-hmm. What was your first activity that you were like, I'm going right back into this?
Oh man. Well, first would probably surfing.
Okay.
And then at the same time, scuba diving. So, that was a little scary too, being 19 and just saying, well, I'm going scuba diving anyway. And being underwater and breathing underwater and being told that, hey, at any moment you could just pass out and, not wake up again.
Yeah.
So even the technology in scuba diving has advanced since then too. So there's a lot of things. And I'd like to say, at least from what I know, is that you're also still pioneering and trying out new ways to even check that stuff underwater, which is also a really cool thing. I know it's an ongoing process. Nothing's been perfect, but the fact that your curiosity continues to fuel how to make that more accessible to people with T1D with more like of a confidence to do it is pretty impressive. So you're right. I got a little creative at one point. Last year I started communicating with, or maybe it was the year before. Anyway, I was communicating with a company called Volk, and they make an underwater case for your phone. And that case is pressurized so that you can take it down to like 150 feet if you wanted to, and it keeps your phone safe. But the difference between their case and other cases is that you can actually use the touchscreen underwater. There's like a gel coating on the back, and you can use that touchscreen.
Oh, wow.
And that phone is the key to controlling my insulin pump and reading my blood sugar at the same time. So for the first time, I was able to test out this phone case. It's meant to actually use for a camera, but I'm like, hey, well, why not try this out? So I did, and I used it to check my blood sugar and tested it down to 100 feet and went down, and I could see my blood sugar. It reads Bluetooth, so the Bluetooth signal travels about that far underwater. So as long as I held it, down close to where I have my earbud.
Your earbud? It's okay. We have that happen all the time.
Yeah, so then I was able to actually see my blood sugar for the first time underwater.
Wow.
And also be able to deal with it. If I needed to, I could go right to my insulin pump on the phone and control my insulin pump at 100 feet, which is a little bit nutty.
Yeah, that's
So I did
incredible.
some experimentation on that. That company was really generous, and I told them what I was going to do, and they helped me. So they gave me the equipment. They gave me a lot of extra bits and bobs and pieces to facilitate the testing of it. We cross-posted. I have a type 1 diabetic blog that I do. So
Link
Shout
in
out.
show notes.
Link in the show notes. That's awesome. Cool. What is the name of it?
It's type1liveabetic.com, and it's also thisone.life.
Cool.
So they both link to the same page.
Awesome.
But so we cross-posted. They were really supportive of me. They put some stuff up on their sites and stuff like that too. But it was really neat to be able to, first time in my life, be underwater and know exactly what my blood sugar is. It's a kind of a game changer.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely sounds like it was, right? Definitely a life or death game changer for you right there. At least you had the peace of mind, that you could respond if you needed to.
Yeah. And it's going to be helpful now. So now in my scuba journey, I'm moving on to some more stringent training in technical diving, is what they call it. So in tech diving, it's more of a decompression diving. So in recreational diving, we call it no decompression diving. So basically, you go down to recreational limits. There's no need to spend time underwater decompressing. Whereas in technical diving, there is the need for decompressing, meaning that when you go past 130 feet for longer, you've got to spend some time under there decompressing as you come back up. So there is no direct path to the surface at any point until you're done with those compression stops. So that adds a little bit of complexity for being a type 1 diabetic. If I have some kind of emergency, I can't just go to the surface.
Right.
So I'm going to try to incorporate the being able to read my phone and my blood sugar underwater as I'm working through this technical dive training.
Yeah. Wow. That's really bold of you, I think, and brave. You're doing human experiments on yourself, kind of.
And I mean, you're saying that there's not really any kind of documentation of any other person doing this that is a T1D, right? And you're kind of exploring that. You are definitely, again, pioneering what that looks like in a space that means so much to you, but is also kind of trying to expand what that means for other people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is somewhere out there a type 1 diabetic who's also a tech diver, but I'm having trouble finding the data on that. There's, a lot of HIPAA rules and stuff like that where I can't access the data from any of the organizations. But there isn't any documentation out there as far as how to handle that, how to make these life or death decisions as a tech diver and make these life or death decisions as a type 1 diabetic at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting. And I'm trying to do it in the safest way possible.
Yeah, sure.
And basically reach my limits. And if there are limits, I'll be smart about them. But at the same time, I'm feeling like if I can manage both at the same time, then why not see what's capable?
Yeah, totally. Well, lucky for you, Steve, we are all about community here. And so if there is anyone out there in the podcasting platforms who are listening right now and are also a type 1 diabetic and a tech diver, reach out to us, hit us up. We're
throwing
you with
out
Steve.
All of the nets. Yeah.
Yes. No, definitely, because that's what it's all about, right? Someone could be listening and it's like, hey, I resonate with this. Let me hit you up. And I think sometimes we're nervous about stuff like that because we don't know how it's going to be received or if it's even possible. But we're just real people having chats with real people about real things. And so if you guys want to hit us up, please do so. And we are all about connecting people to, the people that they're looking for.
If there's anything when you're hanging out between me and Mary, if you're timid, we're going to massage that into a space where you feel a little more comfortable.
Totally.
We're like, ooh.
Speaking of massaging, Gavin Ronsdale, hit me up. I didn't make my Gavin Rossdale plug yet. Okay, just kidding. We're not going to be massaging Gavin Rossdale.
I think too. So I was like, you got to make up for it. I
got to make up for it. No, real chats with real people like Gavin Rossdale. Just like, saying. I don't know.
He really exists.
I hope so.
He's just AI, Mary.
Oh my gosh, that would be so creepy. Ugh. No.
To come back to it is like 19 is a really early diagnosis. I mean, some people have gotten diagnosed earlier than that, but that's a pretty like life-changing diagnosis. You basically then take that into that is who you are because you can't change that portion of it, but how you react to it is what you can control.
Oh, hello. Say that again.
I don't know if I can, but
that makes me feel good. Yeah, no, you're totally right. Sorry.
I'll just rewind it. But so with that though, that impacts all the roles you step into in your life. So you tried. There's a lot of things that you have explored and you can share what you want to is how do you normalize yourself? I mean, when you're faced with something like that, you already feel kind of you're on the outside. You're already having to do a whole lot more than what anybody else. There is a sense of fairness and unfairness to it. And that's completely valid, And when you are exploring then what the rest of your life looks like in that, what is it that you're striving through, or towards at that point in time? Like, is it that punk rock kid always doing, F this, jog on, kind of deal? Or, what is it then that you made those decisions, at that point? You're like, if not now, then when? Like, when am I going to be this or that? Like, can you walk through some of those pieces?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, part of it is, as much as I'd love to say punk rock kid, fuck off. There's an acceptance there too, right? Mm-hmm. So there are limits, and my message is, hey, there shouldn't be limits, but in reality, there are limits, right? So as a kid growing up, the one career that I wanted to do growing up was I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be an airline pilot and fly airplanes. At that time, you could get a commercial or you could get a private pilot's license as a type 1 diabetic. But they would not allow type 1 diabetics to be commercial airline pilots at that time. So that kind of squashed my dreams. I had already kind of started on that path and started the flight lessons and that sort of thing. Yeah. So in reality, that stopped me from continuing on. So there was just that acceptance of, okay, well, then there's something else. And looking at what real life really means. And moving forward and saying, I've got to deal with this and I want to do these other things. So I'm going to go do those other things. Yeah. Today, I think it was just a few years ago, they do allow type 1 diabetics to become commercial airline pilots with very strict guidelines, which are pretty difficult for most of us to do, but it is possible. So for those kids out there that do want to be pilots, it is possible now.
I'm hearing a potential of getting your pilot's license now, adding that to the list of accomplishment here is kind of what I'm hearing.
That's awesome.
No pressure.
You know what? That's also a then when for me, to be honest. But Serena, don't hold me to that right now. I'm not in the right stage of my life for that kind of stuff, okay?
To learn how to fly? To pilot
yes,
to
get my pilot's license, but it's something I've always wanted to do, so I get that, Steve.
A regular Amelia Earhart over there. Well, no, let's not.
Well, not
like
that
Amelia,
way, but geez, yeah, for real.
So she lived.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She just went off and landed on an island somewhere.
Yeah, she was just like, peace out.
Oh my gosh, you're not protecting my future, Steve, are you?
Is it the island that Gavin Rossdale lives on? Because that's where she's flying her.
Well, now you're just predicting a fantasy, so we'll see.
It's not going to be hard to find you now.
Right.
We're like, just find him. But so that leads into, so you didn't get your pilot's license, but that didn't stop you from...
Well, like I said, there was a hiatus for quite a while, which I still went on to accomplish other things and, work my ass off for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And then dove right back into scuba diving, really heavily.
Literally.
literally. Got into being a professional scuba diver, meaning a dive master. So at that point, I was, at the professional level, meaning I could guide dives and I could take people. You look like you want.
Oh, I totally want to put a pin real quick in
Yeah.
this, because this is speaking to the then when part of if you try something and it doesn't go exactly how you wanted it to, like what direction you take with it. I'm totally taking this one. So
She's calling me out. That's what she
Do
said.
it.
so I got a phone call after someone started getting back into diving, and it was, I don't know why I'm doing this. This isn't for me. I'm just gonna hang it up. I don't even know why I got back into this. And I was like, what happened here? And he's like, I just couldn't dive. Everything went wrong today. I mean, it was just like boom, 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 boom. It was like multiple things, and he was just like, it was just too much. It was too much. He goes, I'm just gonna give up. I was like, there's no way you can give up on this.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, there's no way I could give up on this. I was like, literally, he has gills. Like, if you know Steve, you know that he cannot be far enough away from water, or else he will dry up. So. With that, I mean, let's talk real quickly through that and your whole processing of that. Because, I mean, I feel like going through things that feel like failure are very important to know how you move through that to the next stage.
Yeah, because you're right. I know when I called you, I was just discouraged and done. Like, I'm never doing this. Forget it.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, what happened was, over about 10 years, I had done maybe 2-3 dives, periodically. I just didn't have the time during those years. And so when I got back into it, the first day, at least my first day back in California, we're not known for great visibility and great conditions all the time. Sometimes we are, but
Very cold.
Very cold, very low visibility a lot of the times. So that day happened to be one of those days where I got in and the visibility was maybe that far.
Wow.
So, and it was really rough, surgy, heavy current type of conditions. And I hadn't been in the water in a long time, and not being able to see anything, kind of lost track of what I should and shouldn't be doing, and I panicked, and I just felt, it was a full-on panic attack at 40 feet underwater.
Wow.
Which was not fun. But going through that, calling Serena and probably yelling at you over the phone or whatever.
You weren't yelling at me. You were yelling at the situation.
Right.
I can tell the difference between the two.
Right. Yeah. But then realizing, like you said, I'm an ocean kid. I grew up swimming. My mom took me to the beach. That's where I got my love of the ocean, was my mom taking me to the beach every day, and just realizing that that's where I belong.
His mom is a treasure, by the way. Absolute treasure.
She's amazing.
So anyway,
She's amazing.
So yeah.
So yeah, I just realized that's where I belong, and so I got back into it, got more comfortable, and realized, hey, that was just a one-off. Picked up on some more training, because in that moment I forgot all those things from decades ago.
And one of the other things is taking a bold step into launching into a community, which was a bit of a point of caution for you, because you're like, oh, I don't know how to approach that. And I was like, there's plenty of groups and things like that, and you took the bold step into, hey guys, I'm new here, kind of thing. So walking into the room, the virtual room.
Oh yeah.
And
because I was always the kid, like growing up, I was always the kid, they're lining up everybody, let's pick our sports teams, right? And then there's like me and the kid, picking his nose, facing the wall, and they're like, well, we'll take that guy. You can have Steve.
Oh, ouch, Steve.
So
that's the couch stuff. Like, here's the couch. This is where the couch shows up. So,
we've all been there for sure.
So I had all those insecurities, and Serena's just like, go on one of those Facebook groups and just ask people. I'm like,
try it
I'm
on.
gonna ask for friends. This sounds stupid. So I did.
Good,
and I was like,
yay.
hey, anybody want to be my friend?
And
I ended up, my good friend Christina happened to be one of the first people that picked up on that post, and she's like, hey, we got a group diving tomorrow. You're welcome to join.
Cool.
I went down, dove with them, and at the end of that, we started talking, and she's like, hey, you should get your advanced dive training, which is just kind of that next step after your open water stuff. And she just encouraged me, and I just went from there, and I took every single class and specialty that was available and was there, and I went up to what's called Dive Master. That's your entry level into being a pro diver. Got a job in the industry as a professional dive master, started working on boats, and eventually 6-7 years later became an instructor. A lot of people go dive master and they go right into instructor, but I took that time in between to really hone my skills and be a professional dive master for a long time, which is super fun.
Show off at least one of your ways to show people, to instruct people, and very... Come on.
What, like a skill?
Yeah, like one skill. Which skill are we learning here? Mary, what skill? You want to flood your mask? Or do you want to remove your regulator? What do you want to do?
Oh my gosh, you're giving me anxiety just by talking about those things. Ooh. I am so claustrophobic. Oh no, go ahead. I'll deal with the anxiety.
Do the highest stress.
It's funny because what I notice with students, is like, take their regulator out. You know, the thing that keeps you alive underwater. Take that out, and they're like, well, okay, I'm fine. Take their mask off, and they can't see, and they absolutely lose their shit. Which is
I think not being able to see is pretty scary underwater.
It's a sensory deprivation thing. Yeah, people lose their minds. So, so we demonstrate that underwater, and we say, "Hey, you." Well, first we get their attention.
You can also verbalize this for the people that are
We're
listening.
right now.
Blub, blub, blub.
And you're going to take the mask, and you're going to fill it with water, and then you're going to take it off.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to pull it, and you're going to put your thumb in the nose pocket so you know, because you can't see at this point, right? But you got to know which way your mask is facing. And then you're going to put it back on, and you're going to take the mask strap and put it back on. But first, now you got a mask full of water. You got to make sure that it's all sealed, right? Get all your hair out of there. Make your mask strap. It's good. Okay. And then you're going to look down. You're going to press on your top of your mask, and you're going to blow hard out through your nose like that. And it's going to actually flood the water out of your mask.
Oh, wow.
And clear your mask. So that's one of the skills that a new diver has to learn before they can scuba dive.
For all the people who are just listening, I want to tell you, please go on and watch the YouTube and watch Mary's anxiety just slowly creep up her face.
Is that what you were watching?
I was totally watching it. I was like, it's going red.
Oh my God.
And then when he finally was like, and then it's clear, you were like, oh, goodness, thank goodness. So, well done.
But in reality, what I do when the student is after I do that, right? And now it's the student's turn to do it. I've got my hand gripping on your equipment like this because 9 times out of 10, that student wants to bolt to the surface because my mask is off.
Yeah. I guess I felt that out of water too.
I think you were holding your breath the entire
what
time.
What you felt, they all feel. And we all did, right?
I was so nervous.
Gotten past the first nerves.
Ooh, okay. Let me unclench myself over here. We can continue this conversation.
Oh, this is great. Oh, man.
Wow.
So yeah.
You had me there. That was fun.
Dude, yeah, it's
oh yeah,
fun,
I really appreciated that. Thanks.
Mary, you're gonna have to go get Mama Juice and scoop her out and put your wine in there just to calm down.
For real. Ooh, just relax.
So yeah. Oh my gosh.
We'll get you out there, Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It'll be so great to visit you, Steve. I love the beach more than anything, and I wish I could live by the beach again. I am so great though, like on sand and just a smidge of water here and there.
Got it.
Well, it's funny. But, I mean, my favorite part about teaching scuba is we get a lot of students, a really high percentage of students that come in and they're terrified about something. Terrified because they don't know how to swim very well. Terrified of the water, terrified of sharks, terrified of whatever it is. And then watching them go from that fear and terror, and you can see it in their body language, you can see it in their face, you can see it in their eyes, from that point until the end of class, and all of a sudden they're like, this is amazing, I love this is the best thing ever.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what you do it for. It's like you get that, you unlock that love for all of that, like exploration, bravery even. Because I mean, I will say I'm over 100 dives in now, and I still get a little anxious and a little excited. Like I'm like nervous because you're like, this is unnatural, right? You're not supposed to be breathing underwater as a human being. But the thing is that when you get under there, I had one where I was like, okay, I'm out. And I was like, what are you doing? This is the thing you breathe with. And your brain takes over and goes, okay, it's logical. So just sit here for a second. and just take it easy, you know? So even like if you're most
Yeah.
seasoned and stuff like that, sometimes you're too in your head, right? Like you just, if you get out of your head sometimes. One of my
Yeah.
instructors, when I was doing advanced and I was trying to keep buoyancy and stuff like that, and I was like, "Whoa," and I was like tumbling underwater just because I was overthinking it. And the instructor went, too in your head, and he just kind of like, get out of your head. And then I just kind of zenned in and boop, I just did it, hovered perfectly like at that
Wow.
point. Well,
Yeah.
hovered perfectly in a little bit of a tilt. but yeah, but that, I mean, it happens no matter what. It's just managing your thoughts in a lot of ways, you know, and going, okay, is this real? Is this the truth? Am I, what I'm saying to myself, the real deal here right
Yeah.
now? And most of the times you can kind of breathe your way through, and sometimes, yeah, you might need a little extra help. And so that's where I feel like when you're instructing or when you're doing dive mastering, because when you're actually like guiding people and things like that, you're on the watch for that. So you were speaking to your journey through your dive certification, how you go all those different levels, and you were getting to the instruction part, and then you shared the pieces about seeing people. So you've been on boats, you've been on a ton of boats. And that has also led to something else, has it not?
It has, yeah.
So.
Good segue. Well, I'll start by saying when I first started working on boats, kind of the common question a lot of people ask people that are starting to be deckhand or dive master on a boat is, you know, hey, are you working on your captain's license? And at that time, my immediate answer was no, that's not for me.
But why?
I can't be a captain. Well, I thought a few reasons. One, I thought the type 1 diabetes would stop me. Another thing was I didn't think that I was capable of knowing all the rules, being able to safely operate a boat of that size, having that responsibility. Just seemed like something that was way out of my realm. And I thought, no, are you kidding me? I can't. Those guys are like captains.
Literally.
Literally. Side note, as I've been working in the industry for long enough, I see these guys and it's like, oh, they can do it.
Yeah. Dude, isn't that
No
the
names.
case with so many things though? I feel like whenever this was kind of like our podcast thing too. We were like, oh, we would love to do this big thing. Like, we can't podcast. What do we possibly know about this? And here we are
here you are.
podcasting, right?
Yeah.
And I think of that when I go to a workshop or a talk or some speaking engagement, because I'm always like, oh, who's going to want to hear me speak? But then I hear these like terrible presentations. I'm like, oh, I could do it 1,000 times better than this for sure. Right. So it's like, yeah, getting out of your own head and out of your own way, kind of into that thing that you're looking for.
Yeah. And it's also baby steps for me. At least that's how I handled it was. So I said, okay, I happen to have gotten laid off from my job, and the captain's school itself, I mean, you can do it online. It's not recommended, but you can do it online. But to go to the school, it's 2 weeks, and at the end of the 2 weeks, you take a test. And the 2 weeks are it's literally 8 hours there, and it's 4 to 5 hours of homework every night, and it's straight through the weekend to the next week, and then you take this big Coast Guard test, and you get your captain's license.
And lots of calls saying, I can't do this. Why am I doing this right now?
Yeah, my therapist got a lot of calls.
We all need someone like that, right? That can cheer us on from the side.
Yeah, and she definitely did. My parents did. You know, so that was super helpful. I had the time now because I had just gotten laid off from the job. I had the 2 weeks.
So you took something crappy and you leveraged it to do something good for
I
yourself.
was like, I've got the time. Why not?
There you go.
And so I figured maybe I'll just get the captain's license. And even though I can't drive a big 100-ton boat.
Sure. We all saw the Titanic. Right.
Yeah. Fortunately, there's no icebergs in California.
Ooh, dodged a bullet right there. Oh,
Yes.
Serena, stop it.
Yet. Yeah.
There's so much climate change.
No, but so I did the class and just thought, okay, cool. Now I got my captain's license. At least I just have it. You know? And then I started, because it also takes 720 days working at sea to be able to apply to get the license. So I had those.
Oh, wow.
I had the license now. I started asking, anytime I was working on a boat, hey, do you mind if I drive? Hey, do you mind if I park the boat? Hey, do you mind if I watch you park the boat? Parking the boat is what captains get paid for. Driving the boat is just sitting there with your finger in your nose, right? So,
I mean, you're the one telling the tales, not us. We don't pilot the captain. We don't captain
we're
the
up
boats.
there braving the hardy seas.
It's always like like driving in movies where people are over exaggerating, like going on the wheels. Like, who drives in those zigzags?
With the big pirate ship wheel.
Oh my gosh! Tell me your boat has that giant wooden wheel.
Oh yeah,
that would be awesome. From Captain Hook, I'm just picturing that giant.
And he's got the hat and everything.
Oh, with the feather in it and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You have an alligator. Instead of an alligator that follows you around, is it like a shark or some kind of underwater thing?
Yeah,
a shark?
You have a pet shark.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's Aquaman. He talks to the fish.
Oh, that's nice. Without your regulator in, you're like, I got this, guys.
There is a picture of you in your Aquaman uniform. So,
I do.
Yeah,
yes.
so.
Oh, fun. We'll put that on Patreon. No, I'm sorry, Steve. That's Patreon content, all right? We'll hold you at a higher bar there.
We'll give you a cut of the
Can
proceeds.
you link to my OnlyFans?
Perfect.
Wrong show?
Cross-pollination here.
Then when?
Then when? No judgments here, Steve.
Anybody. Correct.
Well, now I've been lucky enough to be captain on 3 different boats.
Wow.
I'm getting more opportunities coming up here in the near future to
That's
captain
awesome.
more boats. And yeah, it's still, every time parking the boat, it's a little bit of, okay, like you were talking about when scuba diving, stop, breathe, think about the situation, do your best.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing that.
That's awesome. You've talked about so many things just in the last couple minutes that I wanted to dive into a little bit more. But
we'll have to do a second episode like we're going to do with your brother,
totally.
too.
But like, I think you highlighted something really beautiful that maybe doesn't get noticed enough or acknowledged enough, that it's up to us, right? How we dive into these things. I got to think of a better word here, but it's just all I can think of now. How we get into these things that maybe are a little scary at first, and then how we manage that is really how we end up getting through it, right? And knowing yourself is a big part of that. Little steps along the way makes a lot of progress when you look back on everything, right?
For sure.
And so those steps aren't meaningless, right? They're for something.
And knowing when to reach out too. I mean, even though like it might have been in frustration, but reaching out to someone who can help you level that, and kind of bring you back down to earth a little bit, or down to sea level.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I see it.
Yeah. But those are important. That's why we stress about community. That's why we say, hey, reach out. That's why, that's why we also strive as humans to have that, is to know that, hey, when we're spiraling out of control, someone's going to basically bring us back in and hold that space for us.
Yeah, and you never know, because, some of those captains that were my mentors or are my mentors, I would start to open up and talk to them about, my trepidations about becoming a captain. And I heard a lot of them saying, oh, I thought the same thing. People that were highly respected, that I could see that just operated a boat like it was nothing.
Right.
And you're talking to them and they were like, oh yeah, I was terrified to drive a boat when I first started.
Yeah. I love
really
that.
Too. It's just hearing that and knowing, okay, cool. So one day maybe I'm telling some dumb kid,
Yeah, definitely.
Some
it's really
wishful and hopeful kid,
Yeah, but it's about normalizing all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And talking about it really brings that out in people, just to make it normal. Of course, everyone's scared to do something for the first time. Even just going on a no-name Facebook group saying, hey, I need a friend. That's amazing, because so many people are out there. We have this giant loneliness epidemic right now. And how many of us could, benefit from something like that, going into a space and being like, hey, I'm new. Anyone else out there? So
it's
that's
like
really
your own
awesome.
little mailbox flag that you're putting up and going, hey guys, ready to receive letters. I mean, I know that's the opposite of what putting the flag up means, but still, it's just going, you don't know. And I know rejection, like you had mentioned, you touched on it. That's a long-standing wound, right? That's a lot of people have that wound, and not in the same way, but and I think that is always some of the parts of what stops us from embracing those moments, right? Of when we are saying, even my own acceptance of whether or not I can do something is a rejection, not just based on from other people too. So
Totally.
it's impressive to me. And the reason why I was like, you're perfect to come on here is that you were handed that slip at 19. You were handed that, and that did not stop you. You could have chosen at 19 to never pursue any of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you could have lived the most beige to you life that, I mean, really, like, let's think about it. That wouldn't have even, you wouldn't at 19 know that you could have accomplished what you've done so far today. And what you will still yet to accomplish. Because I know you've got lots of things always going on. This guy's got as many probably than when lists, happening in his life too.
Nice.
And we'd love to hit that. Be like, okay, so what's the one left on the table, buddy? Kind of thing.
Oh, we could get updates from Steve along the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah, totally.
Where in the world?
Yeah. You've got,
Where in the world is Steve?
Right.
Yeah. He runs scuba trips, he's got, investments in other things that are going on with the scuba and boating spaces. So, I mean, we're going to follow up on you, and definitely like even putting out the word through your blog. I know that is also something like, I know you're like, hey, I'm not a big tech person, but hey, you started it. It might not be like what you envisioned to be this big, like mega social space, but you took the step. You started this.
Yeah. I mean, my real drive for that site and the blogs that I write, if I have one person reads it and they feel better about their situation, or they're encouraged to do something different or something beyond their comfort level, I'm good. That's I've reached my goal.
Totally.
If one person gets that message.
Yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth. Absolutely. It's not about, being popular for this, that, and the other thing, right? It's about impacting real people in their real lives with their real struggles. And it sounds like type 1 diabetes could have really impacted you a lot, and probably does impact you every day, right? Every moment, like you said. And you're not letting that stop you from doing the things that you love. So that's really a powerful story. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And I write a lot about the mistakes that I am continuously making, right? So, I've made some huge mistakes as far as traveling and bringing in the right stuff and, taking risks where on the other end of it, I go, well, that was probably dumb. So I write that stuff so that people can read it ahead of time and go, oh, that's a good idea. I think I'm going to learn from his mistakes.
Or they go, oh, yeah, I did that too. Yeah. Or they might even say, hey, this is what I did differently as a result.
Oh, which was great. Yeah. So I was able to reach out to the community, and I did get that feedback, hey, when I was in a similar situation, this is what I did. And so I took that and I posted it on my sites and stuff so other people could see the advice that was passed on to me.
Yeah.
No gatekeeping
awesome.
here.
No gatekeeping on the Then When podcast, that's for sure. Yes. Or in life.
So we'll definitely be linking your blog and because you also post a lot of your underwater photography and videos and stuff like that on your Instas. So we'll also throw those in there too.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'd love to see that.
The
fellow photographer Steve, over here.
Hold on. Reverend Captain Scuba Steve. Did I get that right? All right,
right.
Cool. Right on. So, and then also got anyone out there, if your then when is to learn how to scuba dive, you literally have a direct connection now. There's no excuse. We'll make sure that you have someone to talk to, reach out to, ask the questions. I mean, if there is anything that Steve is very gracious with, is his knowledge, his feedback, and his connection, especially when it comes to the ocean. So I really think that this is a wonderful opportunity. And I mean, I might have taken away your gracious offer to people, so I'm very sorry if I did.
Absolutely. I love sharing the ocean because the ocean is amazing. The ocean is what keeps the planet alive, right? And a lot of people don't realize that. And there's a beauty to it. So I love to share that with people and be able to see what's under the water out there.
That's awesome. Well, I have my snorkel ready to visit you in California, which is
Mary on-site episode. We got to do this
with a snorkel. Yeah, but I'm not taking my mask off underwater. Sorry, Steve, I'm not there yet.
You can do it.
You can,
Yeah.
Maybe.
So-
We'll see. No, I'm kidding.
So
Well, thank you. Oh, go.
Oh, I was going to say, before we wrap up, is there anything you want to send, parting words for the audience?
I guess in listening to my own stories, a revelation that I kind of came to just listening to what I was just talking about from my third person here is you might hit a roadblock. You might hit something that you can't do this, right? So you pick a different direction that's similar or very different, whatever it is, and you see the joy in what that is. So there is a limitation here. Accept that. It sucks. Move that direction. There's great things to be found in that direction too.
Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Mwah, chef's kiss.
That was so fantastic, Steve. Thank you so much for sharing that wisdom with us and everyone who's listening to this episode. Thank you guys for all joining us today. We appreciate having you here, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Until when?
Peace out.
So that's it for today's episode of Then When. Honestly, we could talk about this stuff forever, but we know you've probably got things to do, or at least a very long list of things you're thinking about doing.
It's been a blast, but before we head out, we want to hear from you. We're looking for your then and your when.
Exactly. If you've got a recent win you're proud of, that's your then. Or if there's a back burner dream item you've been putting off, that's your when.
Whether it's a total triumph or help, I'm procrastinating, we want to share your stories on the show.
Seriously, come say hi. You can DM us at thenwhenpod or shoot us an email. We can't wait to hear what you're working on.
Until next time, take care of yourself. We'll catch you on the flip.